10 interesting facts that no one knows about the Apollo missions. During the Apollo 11 mission, Neil Armstrong's famous words were not actually, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." In reality, he whispered to himself, "Houston, I hope you've mowed the lawn. I don't want any space critters hitching a ride back with me." You see, NASA had an unspoken fear that the moon's surface might be infested with extraterrestrial creatures just waiting to hitch a ride back to Earth. So, as Armstrong took his historic step onto the moon, he couldn't help but express his concern in a light-hearted way. Little did he know that his words would become immortalized as one of the most iconic phrases in human history. To combat the boredom of space travel, the Apollo astronauts held regular karaoke nights on board. Buzz Aldrin's favorite song to belt out was "Rocket Man" by Elton John. Picture this: a group of astronauts floating weightlessly in their spacecraft, singing their hearts out to the tune of a space-themed song. It was their way of injecting a bit of fun into the otherwise serious and challenging mission. Buzz Aldrin, known for his vibrant personality, couldn't resist the opportunity to channel his inner Rocket Man and serenade his fellow crew members. One can only imagine the harmonious melodies echoing through the confined spaceship. NASA once tried to sneak a hidden camera aboard the Apollo 14 spacecraft to capture some candid moments. However, all they ended up with were hours of footage of Alan Shepard practicing his golf swing in zero gravity. It turns out that Shepard, being an avid golfer, couldn't resist the temptation to bring his favorite pastime to the moon. Equipped with a makeshift golf club and a few golf balls smuggled on board, he took several swings, sending the balls soaring across the lunar surface. Unfortunately, the hidden camera failed to capture anything else of note, except for Shepard's unconventional lunar golfing skills. The Apollo 13 mission faced a perilous situation when a bag of potato chips exploded in the command module, causing a catastrophic crunch shortage. Thankfully, the astronauts survived by nibbling on their emergency stash of freeze-dried ice cream. Space travel often comes with its unexpected challenges, and this incident was a perfect example. While enjoying their snacks, the astronauts inadvertently punctured a bag of chips, resulting in a chaotic explosion of crumbs. With their crunchy sustenance compromised, they had to resort to their backup supply of freeze-dried ice cream, which might have been less satisfying but certainly saved the day. The astronauts had a secret tradition of leaving strange objects on the moon's surface. Among the items left behind were a rubber chicken, a pair of fuzzy dice, and a sign that said, "Reserved, parking for aliens only." As they explored the lunar landscape, the astronauts wanted to leave their mark in a fun and unique way. They decided to create a lunar time capsule of sorts, stashing away amusing objects that future generations might discover. The rubber chicken symbolized their sense of humor, the fuzzy dice added a touch of quirkiness, and the "reserved" sign humorously suggested that the moon was a cosmic parking lot for extraterrestrial visitors. To lighten the mood during the Apollo 12 mission, Pete Conrad and Alan Bean performed a comedy routine on the moon. Their moonwalk included synchronized moonwalking, moon jokes, and even a moon pie eating contest. The crumbs were a bit difficult to clean up. Being the second manned mission to land on the moon, the Apollo 12 crew felt the pressure of following in the footsteps of the historic Apollo 11. To alleviate the tension and inject some hilarity into their mission, Conrad and Bean devised an impromptu comedy routine. They synchronized their movements in a comical moonwalk, cracked jokes about lunar dust, and even engaged in a playful moon pie eating competition. It was their way of reminding everyone that even in the vastness of space, a good laugh can bridge the cosmic divide. During Apollo 17, the lunar module pilot, Harrison Schmitt, accidentally dropped his space pen while exploring the moon's surface. He tried using duct tape to retrieve it, but it only made matters worse when the tape got stuck on his glove. This incident led to the creation of the famous line, "Houston, we have a sticky situation." Imagine the frustration of dropping a pen while millions of miles away from Earth. In a moment of resourcefulness, Schmitt attempted to use duct tape to recover his lost writing instrument, only to find himself entangled in a sticky mess. The unexpected sticky situation not only created a memorable astronaut quote but also highlighted the challenges and ingenuity required for lunar exploration. In an attempt to win a bet with the Soviet Union, the Apollo 15 crew smuggled a small jar of borscht onto the moon. Sadly, they forgot to bring a spoon and had to settle for sipping it through a straw. Cold War rivalries often sparked peculiar competitions between the United States and the Soviet Union. During the Apollo 15 mission, the astronauts hatched a plan to outdo the Soviets by bringing a jar of their national dish, borscht, to the moon's surface. However, in the excitement of the moment, they overlooked the essential utensil required for consuming their moon-bound meal. Not to be deterred, they resorted to sipping the beet soup through a straw, resulting in a rather unconventional gastronomic experience. During the Apollo 16 mission, Charlie Duke became the first astronaut to perform a moonwalk dance routine. His moonwalk routine was so impressive that Michael Jackson later asked for pointers. Charlie Duke, known for his vibrant personality, decided to add a touch of entertainment to his lunar experience. As he ventured onto the moon's surface, he couldn't resist the urge to break into a dance routine inspired by Michael Jackson's iconic moonwalk. With lunar gravity adding a whimsical flair to his moves, Duke's moonwalk became an instant hit within the astronaut community. His performance was so remarkable that it caught the attention of Michael Jackson himself, who reached out to Duke for dance lessons upon returning to Earth. As a prank, the Apollo 10 astronauts broadcast a fake alien invasion over the radio while orbiting the moon. They used eerie sound effects and whispered strange messages like, "Houston, we found the moon's secret stash of cheese." The joke caused quite a stir, and for a moment, NASA had visions of an intergalactic cheese war. In the spirit of camaraderie and good-natured mischief, the Apollo 10 crew decided to pull off an elaborate prank. Utilizing their radio communications, they concocted a fictional scenario involving a secret moon cheese reserve and unidentified extraterrestrial beings. The bizarre messages, coupled with eerie sound effects, succeeded in causing temporary confusion and excitement at mission control. Ultimately, the prank highlighted the astronauts' light-hearted camaraderie and their ability to inject humor into the most serious of missions.